All right, fashionistas, let's head straight into sewing. Okay, so I have my patterns here. Okay, the patterns we created. Now we are going to cut them and then sew. All right, so this is it. We have 3 pieces for this, and then the back has also 3 pieces. Okay, the back also has 3 pieces like this. All right, if I want also, I can choose to put the I can choose to put these two together and make it one, and then cut this one separate. Okay, and cut this one separate. It depends on however I manipulate it. Once the allowance here has been taken off, I can put it together. Okay, that is just to avoid gaping. Okay, so I can put that together and trace it all together as one, or cut it all together as one pattern, and then also cut only this. So we're going to have only 2 seams at the back, but of course we can still go ahead and do the 3 seams. Okay, that's no problem. That is no problem at all. So let's head straight into the sewing. All right, let me get the corset mesh. I'm using a white corset mesh, and I'll be using my fabric. Unfortunately, I've been looking for, I don't want to go and buy another fabric. Honestly, I want to use the pieces I have here at the workshop. So I'm just using this corset mesh is white. Okay, so I'll be cutting the fabric, this patterns with that. Okay, now because my felt is strong and original, yeah, I will just use one layer. Okay, I'll just be cutting one of these. Okay, I'll just be using one layer each. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them on it, and let me fold them first because there are 2 parts. So I'm going to fold them. It looks pretty big, so it's making it difficult to control. So I'm just folding it into 2. All right, so I have it. This is how I folded it. Okay, okay, so I'm going to lay my patterns and cut them. So let me start off with the front. So the center front, I will lay it down. Okay, now this is the selvage. Okay, this side is my selvage. Okay, I'm using here as the stretch side. Okay, as the stretch side. Okay, I want it to stretch that way. So here, then I'll go ahead and pin it. Remember, I told you that all the seam allowances that I have, that I'll be joining, the allowance I'll be doing is 1 inch for each seam. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this part. All right, I'm going to go ahead and skip this part and place them. When I'm done, I'll come back to record it. Okay, let me just skip this part so that I don't waste your data and your data bundle and your space. Okay, so I'm going to stop filming it, and then right after I'm done with this particular one. Okay, so we have I've placed the back. Okay, I've placed the back, so let's go ahead and cut it. Okay, now the allowance I want to add to this, each seam here is 1 inch. Don't forget that, because you don't join this one just like the way that you usually join your clothes. Okay, so the allowance I'm adding to the sides, okay, is all 1 inch throughout. You will see that I have not marked any 1 inch, but I'm cutting. I know how to cut 1 inch. I know how 1 inch looks like, so I'm just cutting it freehand. The top part is just ½ inch. Okay, and then the bottom part is also just 1/2 inch, but the side and side, the seams, is all 1 inch all throughout. Okay, right, so I have my 1 inch added, and then I'm cutting all of it with the, so I'm gonna have to also pause the video at this stage, and then when I'm done cutting it, I'll come back and record. Okay, I'm just trying to save some data and space for you. Okay, it looks like this side didn't cut. All right, push pins. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut. All right, so if you're looking at it now, this is my patterns for all of them. Okay, I'm trying to zoom in so you can actually see them properly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start pinning it to join it. Okay, um I have this here, here, and here. This is my center front. I'm going to have a seam in the middle. Okay, so it's a cut through, actually. It's a cut through. So, and this is also the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and then remove the front and then pin them together. All right, now the mesh doesn't really have any right side or wrong side, so you have to decide where you want to be the right side and where you want to be the wrong side. That depends on you. Okay, each side, any of the sides are okay to work with. Okay, so I have the middle here. Okay, so I've pinned the middle together like so. Okay, let me go ahead and just pin this. It's going to be very it's not going to be too visible. Okay, now if you created the patterns, you should know how each of them should join. Okay, unfortunately my table, my cloth on the table is not really projecting the white felt or corset mesh. Okay, you don't really see it too well. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just join it. Okay, I'm sure if you were able to do yours as well, you'll be able to join it as to where each pattern should be joined. Okay, so I'm just that's just what I'm doing. I'm just trying to join it. Now I wanted to teach what a French seam is. Okay, but I don't know, something's telling me I shouldn't. So if you're a designer, you should know what a French seam is. Okay, so we are going to join all of these patterns with a French seam. Okay, we are joining all of these shapes here with what we call a French seam. Okay, I think I've not joined it properly. All right, so I'm gonna have to pause the video. Okay, I don't know if I should show you what I'm doing because it's not too visible. What I'm doing right now, you can't see because it's not too visible. The colors are not really projecting it properly. Okay, but let me just go ahead and just do it. I'll just pin all the fronts and then work with that, and then when I'm done, I'll do the back. Okay, so I'm done with these two patterns. I've pinned them together. So join this. So when you are sewing half inch, okay, you should find how to do a French seam. Okay, it's best to sew this with a French seam. Okay, so if you don't know how to do a French seam, I think you should find out. Okay, it's very common, very common. Okay, if you go to YouTube, you can find how to sew a French seam. And per the allowance that I've told you to add, the 1 inch allowance, you first of all sew your half inch such that the raw edges will come to the right side, and then you sew another half inch again so that it goes to the wrong side. You understand when you get to know. So basically this is my top. Okay, I've pinned all of it together. This is how it looks like now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then join all of this with a French seam. This is it. Let me go ahead and join the back also. Now the back, I think I have to take my time. Let me finish sewing the front first. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and sew this. Now if you're a designer, you're whatever, you should be able to sew this. Okay, I don't have to film this part. You should be able to sew this. Okay, it's one of the easiest. All right, so go and find how to do a French seam. Is that video shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to watch. I mean, it's something short, so it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to finish what's in that particular video. Okay, so this is it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join it together. All right, with the French seam actually. So I'll finish soon and I'll get back to you. All right, so we are back. I'm back again with this. Okay, so I'm done joining it now. You look at it here. It looks all smooth here, and the seams I joined it with are all finished. Okay, so if you did the French seam, you should have something like this. You don't have to get any raw edges like I have at my side here. Okay, everything should be smooth throughout. Okay, everything should be smooth throughout. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then do my top stitch. Okay, push the allowance I have at the back at one side and then do a top stitch on it. Okay, do it for all of them. Push it at one side and then do a top stitch. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. This is just the front. I haven't touched the back yet, so I want to finish sewing the front first and I'll move on to the back. Okay, now you realize that the waist has what become smaller because of the reductions in the excesses. Okay, we've reduced this a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and then do my top stitch. Okay, push the allowance at one side, either here or here. Any of them, either I push at one side here or here, any of them is fine. Then I'll do a top stitch, okay, at the edge of the allowance I have, okay, all throughout to the down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then so when you get here, after joining your French seam, like I said, you shouldn't have any raw edges. Okay, your raw edges will be hidden inside. Now you can see there's a third layer inside. Okay, that is where your allowance should be, your raw edge should be. Okay, it shouldn't show at the back here like this, like rough like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then do my stitch, and then I'll get back to you shortly. All right, so I've done my top stitching. Okay, so you see that everything here is what's lying flat. Okay, the allowances are all what's lying flat. Okay, all right, so I'll go ahead and then do my back. My back is still lying down there. I'm going to go ahead and join it like this to form something like this. Then I'll come back and join them to the sides of here. Then I can go ahead and do my bone case before we go to the bra cap sewing. Okay, so let's put this down first and let's head on to the back here. So like I said, if you knew how to cut the patterns up to this stage, you should know how to arrange the patterns. um, the reason why I'm saying this is because the patterns are not really showing too visible in the video. Okay, they are not really being too visible that you can actually see. So with that effect, you can actually follow what you did and then be joining them. All right, because if you don't take care, you may join them wrongly. Okay, it has happened to me severally. I'll put one here, I'll put one here. What I'm seeing, I'm sure you don't know what I'm doing, but that is it for you. The patterns, the background is not really projecting the patterns. All right, so I'll go ahead and pin it anyways. So one will be here, and then see, I just missed this. This will also be here. So when you are joining it, you should be very careful. Okay, it's very critical when it comes to joining, especially when the patterns are some way. If you don't know how to actually pin them together, you are going to struggle a lot. So I've pinned one side. This is how it looks like. Let me go ahead and pin the other side also. I'm going to join this with the French seam and the French seam, and that's it. It's just going to look like the front I have down there. Okay. So if you have been able to do the French seam, and then you do your top stitch for the seams to lie down flat, you should be able to get to this stage. Okay. Now, the reason why I said French seam is because it's strong. Okay, the French seam is very strong, and again, it finishes the wrong side at once. So we don't need any lining, we don't need any bias to finish the raw edges. No, it finishes it at once. That is why it's recommended that you do the French seam, or one that we call lapped seam. Okay, lapped seam or French seam. So I'm going to go ahead and join this and sew it to be at this stage where I do the top stitch. Okay, so that the seams lie flat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, I don't want to waste your space. That's why I'm not filming the sewing part. It's just like sewing anything. Do you get it? Yeah. All right, so we are back. It's I keep pausing and starting. So I'm done joining the mesh, okay, the nets or the corset mesh, whatever you call it. So this is also done joining in the French seam style. Yes, the French seam. So I'm going to go ahead and then join all of them to the side. Okay, that is also going to be a French seam. Okay, that's also going to be a French seam. So I'm going to go ahead and then join it to the side. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and join it to the side. All right. So French seam also to the side. Now I'm very particular about the French seam because it's very important. That is all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything special. Okay, if there are tricks, I'll share with you, but the trick is to sew this with French seam so that it becomes strong, and at the same time it finishes the raw edges. Okay, the raw edges. All right, so you learn how to do that, and then we can have a nice class. So I'm going to join here also the same way I joined the other seams. So right now what I'm doing is that I'm joining the back or the front and the back at the side seams. Okay, at the side seams, and I'm going to join it with maybe I can show you the French seam in this one. Okay, where's my this is not too visible. Okay, so this side here, okay, where I've marked, okay, here, this part is my right side. Okay, this is my right side, and I've pinned the allowance towards my right side. So I'm going to join it ½ inch. When I'm done, I'll just push. This is it. Let me go over again. This is my right side. Okay, all of them. This is the front, my back, and then this is my right side. The back also. This is my right side. So I've pinned the allowance such that it will come at the right side. So after joining it, I'll just push it inside, okay, and then sew here like that. I mean, just go over and learn the French. I'm trying to show you, but it's not working. So just go over and then watch how to do the French seam. Maybe I should sew one so that I show you how that is done. Okay, let me just sew. So this is my right side though. This is my right side. When I sew this half inch, it's going to come at my right side. Then I can take away the pin. So let me do that right now, and then I'll show you how it's done properly. Okay. All right. Now this is my right side. Okay. I'm trying to show you the French seam. This is my right side. Okay. Now you see that I've joined the allowance to come to the right side. This allowance is at the right side. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be at the wrong side here. Okay, so the allowance is here at the right side. What I'm going to do next is that I'm going to trim it. The half inch I sew, I'm going to trim it, leaving just a quarter. Okay, a quarter of an inch. I'm trimming it, leaving just a quarter. So I'm trimming the allowance, leaving just a quarter. So when I'm done with it, okay, now this is my right side. Okay, when I'm done with it, I'm going to push this side inside. Okay, I'm going to push it inside like this, and I'm going to sew my half inch again here. So initially, when I was joining the two sides, I did half inch. I trimmed away, leaving a quarter. Then I push it inside like this. Okay, then I sew here, also half inch. So it means that the 1 inch that I did has been sewn out of it. Okay, the 1 inch that I added as the seam allowance has been what, sewn. Okay, so I'm just pushing it inside, so I pin it. And when I sew, you see that this side will become smooth. There won't be any raw edges showing here. All right, there won't be any raw edges. So I'm going to just go ahead and sew my half inch, and you see how this one looks like. Okay, let's go and sew the half inch, then you see how that looks like. So I've done that. I've done the stitch, okay, here. So now you see, I'm going to take these pins off, and now you see it's at the wrong side. The seam is at the wrong side. Okay, so I'm going to push it down and then do my top stitch, just like I've done for this side. Okay, I've pushed it down to one side and I've done what, my top stitch. Now you already see that there's some shape coming in. We have some shape coming in. The shape, the fits of the dress is coming in gradually. Very beautiful. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and do my top stitch here. Now the fabric I'm going to use for this class, for the boning and then the bra cap, is going to be this fabric. I'm not going to imitate or do the same thing as seen in the picture, but I'll try as in the fabric that was used. I'm going to use this for the boning. Okay, I'm going to use this for the boning, so I'm going to be cutting it, stripes of it. I'm going to be cutting strips of it, like strips of it, and I'll be placing them on the boning channels. Okay, so I'll be doing that, and then I'll get back to you. So all I'm just going to do is cut them, like like a size of the cotton bias. Okay, cut them like the size of the cotton bias, and then I'll just press it and then putting it on it. I don't know how, if I should film that part or not. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so this is it. Let me just get my boning case, and then I'll place them on it, and then that one I'll film it and show you. Okay, all right. All right, so I've cut the strips of fabric for my boning. Okay, I will not be using the usual the usual sorry, the usual boning. Okay, sorry, the usual cotton boning or the regular boning that we use. Okay, I'm going to be using this stripes. I want to create a bone case. I'll just fold here and fold here. Okay, just like I'm just going to fold it just like how you fold the cotton bias when you buy cotton bias or satin bias, how it's folded. Okay, fold one side like this, and then press it, and then I'll put them on the seam. I'm going to be doing that for all of these I've cut here, and then I'll get back to you with the pressing and then sewing on the corset. Okay, so now if you sew a corset and then it's lying like this, okay, it's lying like this, it means that you're on the right track, because you don't have to sew something and it's lying all flat like that. Okay, the shape that you want should actually show in what you have created. Okay, you see it's not lying flat because the table is not the figure that is supposed to fit. Okay, if I should put this on me, you see that it's actually taking the shape of my body, even though I'm not a woman, but then it's lying smooth on my body like that. So one of the tricks to know that your corset is actually going to fit well is to see how it behaves when it's lying down flat. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and then do the pressing for this. All right, my iron is right there. I'm going to press it in the bias style so that we can use that for the boning. And again, you should, when you're doing this, you should consider the size of your bone. Okay, my boning size is just like it's almost like a half inch, not really like a half inch, but yeah, something like this. So I should have a case that would be, I should have a case that should be able to accommodate this size of a bone. Okay, so you should also take that into consideration. You don't have to create anything that is going to be too big, anything that is going to be too small, or something like that. Okay, all right, then I'll see you again. Let me pause this and then press it. Okay, all right.